Hello, welcome to my presentation on the Beatitudes. Today we're going to be looking at what are the Beatitudes, what they mean for everyday life, and how we're supposed to live them out in our lives. So, firstly, let's look at the Beatitudes themselves. The Beatitudes they come from both the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Gospel of Matthew because I think the wording in that's a little bit more understandable. So, let's read them out. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. And blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Now, what do these statements mean for us? Well, these statements were made by Jesus in one of his speeches known as the Sermon on the Mount. And in this speech, he's giving us guidelines to live by. And these guidelines, by just someone who's taking a casual look on them, you might be thinking, these kind of seem like the New Testament version of the Ten Commandments. And in a sense, they kind of are. But rather than negating the Old Ten Commandments, Jesus is rather perfecting the Old Testament law, the Ten Commandments, by rather than prohibiting them from action, he's calling Christians into action. He's giving them guidelines that they can follow, things that they can do to live more moral lives. And this is what makes the Beatitudes a positive morality. Rather than prohibiting actions, he's encouraging us to move forward into what we ought to do, rather than what we ought not to do. Now, why are the Beatitudes important? Well, the Beatitudes are, they're sets of goals that we are all meant to strive for. And they tell us how to live out happy and fulfilled lives as disciples of God. And this is the very important part. They're the how of how to live. They teach us how to be partakers in God's plan, how to live in the way that God wants us to, how we are supposed to live our Christian lives. And this is what God wants of us. They're goals, they're guidelines. They're a roadmap, in a sense, of what we should be doing, what we can be doing, rather than what we shouldn't be doing. Now, we're going to be taking a very deep dive into Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy, for the rest of this presentation. Now, on a surface level, Blessed are the merciful is calling us, to show mercy. Blessed are those who show mercy. And in exchange for showing mercy, we will also be shown mercy, not only by others, but by God. Jesus here, he's calling us on the surface to be merciful. However, on a deeper dive, he's not just calling us to mercy. He's calling us to something deeper. He's asking us, you need to be merciful. You need to forgive others. But just as you need to give mercy to others, he's teaching us how to live our lives in all aspects. He's asking us to give in all aspects. And this is where the works of mercy come in. Jesus is asking us in the corporal works of mercy, to give of ourselves. In Matthew 35 through 40, he says, "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go visit you?" And the king, Jesus, will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Now, what's the connection here between, blessed are the merciful, and they will be shown mercy, and the corporal works of mercy? Well, in that beatitude, we are called to forgive. And in the corporal works of mercy, Jesus is building on that. He's not only asking us for us to forgive, for us to give mercy to others, but he's also asking us to help others, to give more of ourselves to others. We are called to forgive in order to be forgiven. And Jesus calls us to give of not only mercy, as it says in the Beatitudes, but give of ourselves, give food, give shelter, give clothing to others. He says that what we do unto them, what we do unto God, God will reward us for in heaven. So just as we give mercy and we receive mercy, when we give of ourselves, we give, protection, we give food, we give assistance to others. We are giving that to God. And in exchange, God will give us our reward in heaven. Now, the spiritual works of mercy, They're very similar to the corporal works of mercy. There's a couple of them, but we're going to be taking a specific look on admonish the sinner. Now, what does this mean? What does admonish mean? Well, admonish is very similar to forgiveness, but not only is he calling us to forgive with admonish the sinner, but he's asking us to understand, to help our fellow Christians move forward from sin into righteousness. The running theme here is giving of ourselves, giving, food, shelter, mercy, and admonishment to others. Because as we give to others, we receive from God. We receive, a fulfilling life. We receive our place in heaven next to God, and we receive, that knowledge that we are making the positive change in the world that we ought to be making. This work of mercy is the continuation of the Beatitude, blessed are the merciful. Because rather than just asking us to be merciful and to give mercy, he's furthering the call forward that, we need to recognize that everyone struggles with sin. We need to not judge those people who are sinners, and we rather need to acknowledge that they are sinners, acknowledge that we ourselves are sinners, and to work forward, to move forward, come together as a community against sin, and move forward to be more morally right people together. And that's what he's asking us to admonish the sinner. Not only to forgive, but to understand, to help, to give, our mercy, our lack of judgment, our understanding, our assistance to help everyone move forward. Now in Matthew 18, Jesus is, furthering his message of forgiveness. Peter asks him, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And Jesus answers, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. 77? What? Why? Well, Jesus didn't exactly mean 77. 77 is more symbolic. Jesus chose a symbolically and unrealistically large number to make a point. He's calling us to lifelong calling of mercy, forgiveness, giving of ourselves to others. Jesus is building and building and building and building this call for forgiveness. He's not just calling us to see as we see fit, but always, every single time. And now, this calling of forgiveness, blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy, all works together and leads us to one point. Not only give mercy, not only give forgiveness, but give of ourselves. The Beatitudes teach us how to live a Christian life. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy, calls us to forgive. And this calling to forgive is actually a call to give. Give of ourselves, like in the corporal works of mercy. We are called to forgive as we are forgiven. We are called to give, and we will be given to by God. Shelter others, protect them, clothe them, visit them, help them. Jesus is pushing this message to, give of yourself always, throughout your entire life. And finally, he's asking us to continue the giving. And this call to forgive is actually a call to give. We are called to give of ourselves in the corporal works of mercy, where Jesus pushes his message. He's saying, don't only forgive, but give yourself to others. Because when you give yourself to others, you're giving yourself to God. And that's really what this Beatitude's all about. He's asking us, be merciful, you'll be shown mercy on the surface. And he still means that, he's still saying, be merciful, forgive others. But through the corporal works of mercy, we can see that it's not just that call to forgive. It's actually the call to always be helpful, to do all of these things, clothe, feed, shelter, protect, and help all of our Christian brothers and sisters throughout the world. And this is seen even further in Admonish the Sinner, where we're not only called to forgive, but we're called to understand, come together, move forward, and assist others so that everyone can move forward as Christian people. So, live out the Beatitudes, live out the corporal works of mercy, live out the spiritual works of mercy. Go forward, forgive, give of yourself, and help other people. Be good people.